Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to this episode of Story Time. On Story Time today, we'll be coming out with a word of caution. Do not underestimate anyone in life. What does it mean to underestimate someone? It means you undermine the person, you underlook the person. Now, why do people underestimate others? There are quite a good number of reasons. I'll give you a few. Sometimes people, they lack knowledge about the abilities of someone. And so they form an opinion about that person due to this limited information that they have. And usually it is inaccurate assessment. Number two, I talk about projecting insecurities. Someone might use his own insecurity and extend his or her limitations to others. Because you cannot do this, that person cannot also do it. Because you cannot do this, that person cannot do it. You could also be working on stereotypes. Stereotypes, I mean preconceived notions based on factors such as gender, tribe. Because that man is, or that woman is of this tribe, he will be behaving like this, he will do this. Sometimes they could be using superficial characteristics. For example, you could be judging somebody from appearance. You might be looking at the job the person is doing or the person's background, and you use that to underestimate the person because you have already passed judgment on those grounds. It could also be a question of your ego because you want others to feel that you are superior. You want to make other people feel you are superior, so you underestimate them. Ladies and gentlemen, you might like to know, how can you know that someone is underestimating you? How can you know? Take, for example, you are with people or with a friend. Your achievements are always met with indifference by those people that are underestimating you. Your achievements, it meets with indifference. Instead of them acknowledging that you have achieved something, they are undermining you. They dismiss your achievements. They dismiss the points you table during a conversation. They like talking always about theirs, about theirs. And after they have talked about theirs, and you want to talk about your own achievements through a cutting conversation. I will tell you a story, a personal experience about underestimating people. And I was using one of those characteristics, superficial characteristics, tribe and level of education. In 1989, I was working with the Cameroon Radio Television, and I was assigned to cover a qualification World Cup match, Cameroon versus Nigeria in Ibadan. That match was taking place at Adamasingwa Stadium. I got there on a Friday night, and Saturday morning, I was going to the stadium to go and ensure that our lines were properly installed so that we could do live coverage of that match at Adamasingwa Stadium. I left the hotel. I stopped a taxi, and that taxi, it was an old man, very old man, who was driving the taxi. I saw his face. He didn't look like someone who had even gone to school. So when he carried me, he stopped and took me. And when he was going, I saw him send his hand to where the brakes are. And I got frightened that probably he was trying to get a gun. And I also sent my hand into my jacket to let him know that if he was going for a gun, I also had a gun in my jacket. So he saw me from the driving mirror and he said, "Oga, I know they move na gun, I don't want to do anything for you. Make send your hand for your gun." So I said, "Okay, you drive straight and don't pull off the road," because he was trying to pull by the corner of the road. So he was trying to pull by the corner of the road. So the guy drove again, and I told him, "Let's go through all these areas where there are no houses. Where we see houses, you can stop." This man stopped and sent his hand again to that point and came out with a bunch of newspapers. The most popular newspapers in Nigeria at the time: Concord newspaper, Daily Times, Vanguard, you can name them. I looked at that old man. What is he doing with this bunch of very popular newspapers? And the guy just told me, he took Concord first and said, Oga, look me that paper. Go for page 19. Waiting Obasanjo talk for that place. I opened page 19 and it was politics. And the president actually was making a statement, a policy statement about the country. Then he said, Oga, make you take Punch. I took the Punch newspaper and he said, open page 40. I opened page 40. The man asked me, Oga, waiting they say Cameroon won't do Nigeria for this football. And that was the page for sports. He did that with the top 5 newspapers. I was shocked that such an illiterate, as he appeared to me, what will he be doing? How would he know? So I asked the man, I said, why have you asked me to go to those pages and how do you know the pages and their content? The man said, Oga, make you live on like that. Oh. We taxi drivers, we get some place where we go shop for 1 o'clock. We the fool there. If they ask you, say, waiting Obasanjo talk yesterday, you don't know. Waiting Cameroon go do for that football, you don't know. The woman not sell you shop. Can you imagine? The condition for you to have food at that joint was to show that you were very current. I underestimated that man. Not knowing that this is the man whom, if he took the leading newspapers of Nigeria every day, he would tell me exactly where to go for news, where to go for news and economy, where to go for sports, where to go for whatever. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I am saying today is never underestimate anyone. Don't do it. Take this lesson home again. Never underestimate anyone around you. Everyone has the power to surprise anybody at any time. Did you like that? We keep rolling. Till the next episode.